Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of EdgeMasterGaming, where today I decided to ring in the new year with an all guns tier list. As of today, Project Lazarus has a total of 69 guns in the game. And let me tell you, it was really tough finding a spot for all these weapons. Sorting 69 guns, that's 14 wall and 55 mystery box weapons, is pretty difficult, especially when you're analyzing and trying to make a sound decision on each and every single one. Either way, I know you guys have been waiting for this for a long time, and I'm so glad that I waited because I was able to sneak in the Marlin on the list, capturing every single gun that's been added for 2025. But before I get started, please don't hesitate to hit that like button if you wind up enjoying the Lazarus content on this channel, and definitely please consider subscribing. Also, make sure you check out the description box for links that support my channel and Project Lazarus as well. Alright guys, without further ado, let's get started. We begin with the garbage tier, as in these guns could have been great against the Horde if they weren't such garbage. Starting us off at number 69 as the worst weapon in Project Lazarus, the Kentucky Long Rifle. While I can honestly say that this gun is the most powerful rifle in the game, being able to one-shot into round 60, the insane reload time coupled with a fire rate of which I can only describe as an eternity makes this weapon unsuitable for protection against the Horde. Use this weapon at your own risk. Moving on to number 68 is the second worst weapon in Project Lazarus, the Whizzbanger. While this weapon is a cool idea and has the same moniker as the hammer carried by Thor himself, only one word truly comes to mind when I use this weapon, and that's joke. It has piercing and the damage, but the fire rate and the shockwave from the module is seriously lacking. No wonder it was released on April Fool's Day. Next at number 67 is the less than lethal CQB. If you don't know, this shotgun can one-shot up to round 24 with its special beanbag round. However, it has no piercing and slow reload. What makes it better than the Whizzbanger obviously is the fire rate and the fact that it has 7 shots at the ready when the Whizzbanger only has 1. Coming in at number 66 is the second less than lethal weapon released along with the CQB, the MGL-LTL Anti-Riot. As I mentioned before, this grenade launcher carries the same issues as the CQB when it comes to reloading and piercing, but what makes it slightly better is the fact that it can one-shot up to round 39. Like the Whizzbanger, this weapon was also released on April Fool's Day. Upon release, it actually got a reduction in reserve ammo after being packed. That has since been corrected as it now holds 96 in reserves. Up next at number 65 is the more serious counterpart for the MGL-LTL, the Milkor MGL Mk. The Mk1 can one-shot up to round 38. Even though it carries all the same issues as the LTL, what makes it slightly better is the aftershock module, which can hit multiple targets using a delayed secondary explosion. As I said before in other videos, this weapon should only ever be used as an assist, never your main. In the mid to higher rounds, you will get overrun by the zombie horde if you're not careful. Next up at number 64, we have the TMP, a wall weapon exclusive to the graduation map. I must say that this is the worst wall weapon in the entire game. Its Chaos module got an update which changed from not only having unpredictable damage, but now unpredictable burst fire. So you don't know what you're going to get with this thing. I'm telling you now, don't even pack this weapon if you want to maintain your sanity. Moving on to number 63 is the M14. This gun can one-shot up to round 18 and has a nice 3-shot burst after reloading due to its Conquest module. It's the second wall weapon to make the list. Pros of course are that it's easily accessible on either map and ammo replenishment is a breeze. In addition, the fire rate is good and it's effective against the Horde, both short and long range. And why is this ahead of the TMP, you ask? Simple, because the pack version is predictable. Next up, and final weapon for the garbage tier at number 62 is the SKS. This weapon of course is similar to the M14, but the steady hand module makes all the difference. Its reduction in recoil by 75% when using ADS after packing is amazing. Only issue though is that this gun is exclusive to the graduation map. We move on to the fire and flee tier, where a few of these weapons aren't that bad against the Horde just as long as you remember to fire and flee. Coming in at number 61 on the list is the nail gun. The nail gun is pretty decent in this game. I put it above the SKS due to the fire rate, and when packed, the explosive nails can do additional damage hitting multiple targets. Moving on to number 60, and what has become a pleasant surprise is the Crossbow. This weapon now has an additional upgrade to the module where at 100 headshot kills, the arrows turn into broadhead bolts. They not only continue to increase its damage per headshot afterwards, but they also can pierce up to 4 zombies at a time. I believe it's better than the nail gun because its damage is simply unrivaled. And with piercing, one could argue that it could potentially be a high rounding secondary weapon. The only issue is that, in order to keep up with the zombie health, You would need to keep killing zombies to maintain its effective damage, which could be difficult. At number 59 is the RPD. While I do like the fact that this gun has a lot of ammo and has the ability to regenerate its reserves, the RPD has never been a favorite of mine due to the gun's slight hindrance in movement speed and the lengthy reload time. That's the reason why it will probably forever remain low on my list. And as you might have guessed, at number 58 is the M249 SAW. Like the RPD, of course, it has similar pros and cons. The main difference being the increased 125% fire rate from the Frenzy module, which is a great bonus for this gun. Next up at number 57 is the Gustaf M2 launcher. The launcher as of late has received a damage buff, which makes it great against the Horde in later rounds. In my eyes, it's a great assist weapon that can put down the Horde, provided you're not disoriented by being too close to the blast. The main positives about this launcher is the module makes the weapon fully automatic when packed and can reload all rounds at once. Moving on to number 56 is the lowest rated shotgun in the game, the Super Shorty. I had high hopes for this weapon on its release. The gun sounds great when firing and has the additional explosive slug that does decent damage, but the problem is the lack of shells at the ready. In the mid to late rounds, 3 shells against the Horde is tough because you'll have to reload often, making you vulnerable. Perhaps if Logitech allowed for a full reload of all 3 shells at once instead of doing them individually, this would make it so much better. In at number 55 is the JS9, another wall weapon exclusive to one map, Research. This weapon when packed is good mid to late rounds. The 25% chance of additional shots thanks to the Twin Fang module is a plus. The location of this weapon makes it a viable option for farming since it's right across from the double tap. Coming in at number 54 is the MP5. This gun is still a very solid farming weapon. The only issue is its location on the Research map, which could place anyone in danger if you're trying to replenish ammo. As I said before, while this gun isn't top tier, it's definitely a solid backup for any loadout. Moving on to number 53 and last on the Fire and Flee list is the KEDR-B, another wall weapon that's available on both maps. I always considered this as one of the farming weapons to replace the MP5 on Research. Pros about this gun is its placement in the speed cola room and the stealth attack module. It provides 150% damage for the first 25% of the magazine. In my opinion, it's definitely considered a solid performer that can get you to the late rounds. Next up is the enough tier, where the weapon is definitely good on paper, but after packing, is it really good enough? Moving on to number 52 is the SA58 OSW. This is an old fan favorite if you're an OG on Project Lazarus. It was the go-to weapon in the days before Pack-a-Punch was released on graduation. This gun has received a buff in damage due to its move recently to the battle rifle class. While it's not a go-to weapon of mine, I think it's better than the KEDR-B for sure. Coming in at number 51 is the Mk-10, a mystery box only weapon that is very unique. It's the only weapon in the entire game that uses the Starcross module, which when packed allows you to wield 2 guns instead of 1. While this is one of the coolest additions to the game, the negatives are that aiming is difficult because of the gun's positioning, and the damage also falls off heavily in the mid to late rounds. In at number 50 is the first handgun on the list, the Tech 9. As I've mentioned in the past, this weapon is a great mid-round support weapon as long as it's packed. It's lightweight, has an excellent fire rate, and to top it off, its 50 kill upgrade module provides extra damage while reducing your recoil by 50%. At number 49 is the DP-27. This weird shaped alien LMG provides a good amount of damage thanks to its Lordship module. It does 150% damage along with 40% recoil reduction when you're standing still. Plus, this gun recently gained a buff to its headshot multiplier, making it even more effective in the later rounds. Next up on the list at number 48 is the R0635. The best thing about this gun is the kill clip module, as reloading after a kill grants you 140% damage after 5 seconds. In my opinion, this gun is a better version of the KEDR-B. However, the one drawback is that this weapon unfortunately can only be obtained through the M16 Game Pass. One of the newest weapons to be added and at number 47 on the list is the ASM Val. The gun can only be obtained from the mystery box. It's an assault rifle that's pretty solid. It's good till about the early 30s before the damage begins to wane. One of the things that may surprise you about the ASM is that it's one of 3 guns in the game that shares the same stealth attack module, which provides 150% damage for the first 25% of the magazine. The other 2 are the KEDR-B and the SL9SD. At number 46 on the list is the M16A4. Another solid assault rifle that I definitely consider a good mid to late tier weapon. The 50 kill upgrade module turning the weapon into a full automatic makes this weapon even more formidable. Coming in at number 45 on the list is the SCAR HAMR. Out of all the old LMGs for this game, not including any from the game passes, I actually like this one the most. The Battle Scars module gives 150% fire rate for the first 7 rounds of each burst, so if you use it as a semi-automatic you can take advantage of this. Next up at number 44 and last on the enough tier is the PM9. The pros for this SMG is its awesome fire rate and its light, which allows you to weave through the horde. The downside though is the insane recoil by far. It carries the Relentless module, which reloads a portion of the magazine and temporarily boosts handling when sprinting. Other than that, it's nothing really special. Now I will say that this is another gun that I consider a better version of the KEDR-B. And the next tier on the list is the decent tier, as in, the next set of weapons aren't great at damage, but they're decent and some are kinda fun. In at number 43 on the list is my favorite handgun in the entire game, the B93 Raffica. The most underrated wall weapon on this game by far, as it can one-shot till round 31. You can make this gun either primary or secondary. If you haven't used this gun yet, please add this to your loadout. You do not know what you're missing. At number 42 is the Baretta M9. The Call of the Void is probably one of the greatest assist weapons in the game. On teams, you can help slow the horde to help revive teammates if you or your team are ever in a jam. But please, whatever you do, please don't mistake this for one of the wonder weapons in the game. It's not that powerful. Next up at number 41 is the Honey Badger. As I've mentioned before, this weapon is really solid. It has great fire rate, no recoil, and doesn't hinder your movement speed at all. It carries the Stealth Takedown module, which deals 175% headshot damage with the first 25% of the magazine. Moving on to number 40 on the list is a pay-to-play weapon, the KPOS G2. Part of the Glock expansion pass, this gun has a crazy rate of fire at 1100 RPMs. It's one of the few weapons in Lazarus that gains an additional upgrade after 100 kills thanks to its 100 kill upgrade module. Once upgraded, it gains increased ammo reserves and does 150% damage. Up next, coming in at number 39 is the M4 SOP Mod 2. Another weapon from the M16 expansion pack, this weapon can deal some pretty good damage till the early 30s. The moving target module also can help maneuver you out of some tight situations while firing your weapon. At number 38 on the list and my favorite LMG is the RPK-74. This weapon is also pay to play as it can only be obtained from the AK expansion game pass. The kill tally module provides extra damage along with over 800 plus rounds in reserves. This weapon is good till about the early to mid 30s. Now I must admit I am a little biased when it comes to the AKs in this game because they're simply too good. What can I say? Moving on to number 37 is the Glock 47 MOS. This gun is a part of the Glock expansion game pass and was a real surprise when I tried it out for the first time. It reminds me of the Raffica in a way with a 2-shot burst ADS. If I recall, this gun can one-shot till the early 30s. One of the things about this gun that is a bit unique is the 4-shot burst hipfire. It's definitely a cool weapon for sure. Make sure you check it out when you can. Next up at number 36 is the Famae SAF. This SMG is strong and unique due to the false pretense module. It converts the weapon to a 4-round burst, and headshots grant the next burst 180% damage with increased rate of fire. It kinda reminds me of the AN94 Abakan before it went fully automatic. At number 35 and one of the most fun weapons in the game is the AUG A3. This weapon has insane fire rate and also can be used as a great assist to speed around the map thanks to the awesome adrenaline module. As I've said before, the term run and gun is definitely appropriate for this weapon. The only major drawback is that this weapon wanes in damage around the mid to late 20s, which can really deplete your ammo reserves. Coming up next is the chance tier, where making it to round 35 may be difficult. It's not impossible, but there's definitely a chance. In at number 34 is the Glock 17. Some consider this to be the best weapon to add to a Frost and ray gun loadout. Of course, the reason is because of the Echo Cobra module. The module makes the gun full auto and gives the user 15% additional movement speed by just being equipped. The full auto definitely shreds zombies during insta-kill, and the movement speed is excellent at preventing you from being surrounded. Up next at number 33 on the list and Glock 17's big brother, the Glock 37 GAP. This gun also is part of the Glock expansion pass. It carries all the Glock 17's pros, including the 15% movement speed, but has one additional benefit. That benefit is the first bullet of the magazine does 250% damage thanks to the Head Start module. So if you want to take advantage, a lot of reloads are required. Moving on to number 32, we have the HK416. Another solid assault rifle on the list that definitely can play the role of primary or backup during the mid to late rounds. It carries the Tactical Maneuver module, where tactical reloads grant a fleeting move speed boost for 3 seconds based on expended ammo. Do me a favor, if you haven't done so, make sure you try this gun out the next time you play, you won't be disappointed. At number 31 is a popular handgun for older players, the Deagle. As I mentioned before, this handgun is powerful and is able to one-shot to round 32. The only real drawback that it has, in my opinion, deals with the double seal module. If you didn't know, the last shot in the chamber has reduced spread and does 666% damage. I never liked the fact that you had to waste an entire mag for one powerful shot. To me, it's just a bit much. Up next at number 30 is the F2000. This assault rifle recently got another update to its module. The Curse of the Drowned basically fires slower and deals 200% damage at the bottom half of the magazine. I can't really say that this is an improvement, however, it does make the gun more unique. Coming in at number 29 is the AN94 Abakan. This is a good wall weapon that definitely deserves recognition for getting you to the mid to late rounds. The pros for this weapon lies in this Sharpened Mind module, as it grants 150% headshot damage for 0.6 seconds when performing double headshots. In addition to that, which makes this gun even more attractive, the gun becomes fully automatic. I would definitely put this as part of the Mount Rushmore of wall weapons on either map. In at number 28 on the list is a gun that just happens to be the first gun that I ever reviewed in this game 5 years ago, the Masada. This gun, I swear, is a better version of the HK416. Its high damage output with the Defender module makes this gun a great viable option to make the mid-30s. If you didn't know, the module makes shots have a 15% chance of slowing the horde and doing 200% damage. Moving on to number 27 is a first timer to ever hit the list, the Makarov PM. This gun is enjoyable, it has quick reload and packs a serious punch for being such a small weapon, no pun intended. The reason for this is due to its unique Vermin module. See, the gun's ability allows it to gain increased damage output and handling when nearby allies have the same weapon equipped. In addition, reloading immediately after a kill grants a brief speed boost. At number 26, and still one of my favorite shotguns in the game, the Remington. The ability to one-shot until round 33 combined with reloading 2 shells at a time makes this a very good weapon to keep in your loadout. It's a solid wall weapon that just happens to be in some very good spots on both maps, making ammo easily accessible should you need more. Moving on to the boss tier, as in these weapons will not only get the job done, but they'll set you up to become a boss. Next up at number 25 is the TS-12, a new shotgun that has graced the halls of Lazarus that can one-shot to round 34, thanks to the Horrifugate module. It becomes full auto, which is good, but the issue that I have with this weapon is that it suffers from the same issues as the Super Shorty. When you reload this gun, you have to insert every single shell, which takes a long time, and that's even with being able to reload 2 shells at once. I would highly suggest that if you use this gun, make sure that you make it a backup only. In at number 24 is another favorite wall weapon of mine, the Ranger. I said this before, but this double-barreled shotgun should have the moniker Night and Day, simply due to the difference between the packed and unpacked versions of this gun. For many years, this was the most sought-after shotgun to the late rounds simply due to the Madness module. However, Logitech made sure to nerf this gun a few times, which I can agree that it was a slightly overpowered weapon, but now I think it's just right. This next weapon in at number 23 is the UMP-45. Located in the bathroom of all places, I call this the K1A of graduation. Why do I call it this, you ask? It's because it's solid and can cause great damage due to the unyielding module. This is the second most powerful wall weapon on the graduation map. Of course, that is provided that you can always hit your target though. Coming in at number 22 on the list is a weapon exclusive only to research and what I would consider the best wall weapon in the game, the K1A. Well, Edge, why is that? It's for 2 reasons actually. The first is the Sustenance module, where kills partially reload the magazine with bullets that deal 125% damage. So you truthfully don't have to worry about reloading because the module actually does it for you. And the second, of course, is it's a wall weapon that is easily accessible when you need more ammo. This has been my go-to for years when I started high rounding in this game. If you haven't tried it, you don't know what you're missing. At number 21 on the list is the P90. an OG weapon that hasn't changed since my last video. This used to be a favorite of mine, but the most recent update Logitech actually nerfed it a bit. The pack damage was dropped from 175 to 165. Aside from that, the gun still maintains a good fire rate, with light recoil making it a solid weapon for sure. Moving on to number 20 on the list is the AKS-74U. This is the second gun on the list from the AK Expansion Game Pass. I always loved the damage output from this gun, and it's all due to the Anarchy module. Its skills can stack up to 5 times, during which damage increases by 10% and the fire rate by 5% for 3.5 seconds. At number 19 on the list is the old school SL9SD. Still a pretty good assault rifle that hasn't really changed much. It has good fire rate, recoil, precision when aiming down sights, and damage output which is enabled by the stealth attack module. The module provides extra damage within the first 25% of the magazine. Lastly, it can one-shot until round 31. Moving on to number 18 and the final weapon of the boss tier, the MSSR. This sniper rifle was one of the highlights in my round 453 world record video. It's where I obtained an 8500% fire rate. It was buffed not too long ago with a higher headshot multiplier at 7.5, just to keep up with the other sniper rifles. Second to the last is the awesome tier, as in the guns in this tier are seriously nothing short of awesome. Introducing at number 17 on the list is the most powerful handgun on Lazarus, the Smith & Wesson 500. This gun has an insane amount of damage output thanks to the Hangman module. It deals 250% damage on the first shot after reload when aiming down sights. In addition, this bonus damage is preserved on headshots. Definitely a good weapon to have in the later rounds. At number 16 is the M26 Mass. As I mentioned before, this shotgun is the most powerful one in Lazarus thanks to the flechette module. It can one-shot until round 44. The only gripe that I have with this gun is the bolt action, which delays firing a bit when you're dealing with the horde. Just make sure that you're not surrounded or in an enclosed area in the later rounds or you may get knocked. Coming in at number 15 is the USAS-12. This is a really powerful shotgun that can run through the horde all the way to the mid-30s. Like the AUG, the floating dagger module allows you to move with great speed upon every kill. It's fully automatic and can smash through the horde thanks to the extra 150% damage buff every 4 kills. While this gun is really fun, its biggest issue however is the lack of reserve ammo as you only get 140. At number 14 on the list is the third most powerful sniper in the game, the Barrett 50 cal. The pros about this sniper rifle is that it can one-shot up to round 46 thanks to the Lintner anti-material module. It gives the ability to fire anti-material rounds that explode and penetrate provided you're standing still. However, its biggest drawback is the movement speed when equipped. I truly feel that this gun is best suited as an assist weapon on teams. Moving on to number 13 and the most powerful sniper to be added to Lazarus, the M200 Intervention. This gun operates very similar to the AWP, but it differs on the CCC LX module, where spinning in a 360 grants a temporary 175% damage buff and slightly increases hipfire accuracy. The bump in damage allows the gun to one-shot until round 53. However, this is also the weapon's biggest weakness. No one in their right mind is going to spin in a 360 constantly when fighting the horde. The good thing is that you can just shake the mouse from left to right really quickly to gain the same buff. At number 12, and still my most favorite shotgun in Lazarus, is the Benelli M4. Nothing has really changed with this weapon. It still has a great fire rate, reloads 4 shells at once, and can one-shot until round 37. All thanks to the Better Tomorrow module. Pretty solid shotgun overall. Now if you've never played with this gun, this is one that you should definitely add to your loadout. Introducing at number 11, the newest launcher to be added to Lazarus, the RPG-7. This launcher by far is a force to be reckoned with as it can fully take out a horde in the early to mid 40s, thanks all to the Doomsayer module. The powerful weapons occur because the weapon consumes its reserve ammo to charge the warhead. Now I still have reservations when playing solo if this is a good primary or not. However, on a team game, I'm sure that this weapon can make getting to round 50 a breeze. In at number 10 is another old school favorite and last on the awesome tier list, the AWP. This weapon can one-shot up to round 50. It unfortunately has similar drawbacks in my opinion that the M26 has. The bolt action can really hinder you when fighting the horde, so you'll have to be cautious in the higher rounds. But outside of that, you'll just need to learn to take advantage of the quick scope module and you should be fine. Guys, we are almost done. Do you think that you know the final rankings for the final tier? Well, let's see. Next on the list at number 9 is another favorite of mine, the AK-12. This is the last weapon that you can get from the AK expansion pack. It's almost an exact duplicate of the AK-47. The difference between the two has to do with the Cold Heart module. Basically, it allows you to stack 5% damage up to 200%, but the damage resets once you take damage from a zombie. At number 8, and for the first time, this weapon didn't make the top 5, the AK-47. This gun is truly one of the best assault rifles there is. If you ever come across this gun, there's no excuse not to pick it up. Unless of course you're doing a challenge of some sort. Either way, the Lionheart module enables this weapon to permanently have 200% damage after killing 100 zombies. This amount of damage will get you to the early 30s easily. Coming in at number 7 on the list is the G3A3, a newly added battle rifle that can one-shot up to round 33. I've placed it above the AKs because of its power and steady ADS when firing. In addition, this gun is a dual threat of 160% damage when using ADS and being full auto when using hipfire. This is all thanks to the Sighthound module. Moving on to number 6, another newly added battle rifle to the game, the Ash 12.7. When I first started using this gun, I knew it was going to be in the top 10 instantly. When it fires, it sounds really mean and I like it. The reason why I hold it over the G3A3 is because of the Dust to Dust module. It provides 200% damage when aiming down sights, allowing you to one-shot until round 35. The major drawbacks, however, are the slower fire rate and the recoil. For the first time, cracking the top 5 is what I feel is the best battle rifle in the entire game, the MCX-Spear. I recently used this weapon in many attempts at the Headshot World Record run. What gives it the edge over the new G3A3 and the Ash 12.7 is the Spearhead module. The first shot of each burst has increased penetration and deals 250% damage. Last year sometime, this gun got a buff to its headshot multiplier, making it even more deadly. Make sure you guys add this to your loadout when you can. And at number 4 on the list, and is still what I consider to be the best sniper rifle in the game, the Dragunov SVU. Not much has changed with this gun, which is great. It's still solid as ever, can one-shot to round 42, has great recoil, fire rate, and has the multi-headshot module. The module, if you didn't know, chambers another bullet from the reserves when you hit 2 headshots with 1 bullet. In at number 3 on the list, a gun that has only been in the game for 2 weeks, the Marlin 3030 repeater. This is something unprecedented, but I cannot deny how awesome this gun is. Everything about this gun feels right. The damage, the fire rate, the reload time, everything about this gun is pretty much perfect. And for those reasons, there's nothing else left to say. And for the runner-up, you already know, it has to be the Frostbite. As long as nothing changes with either wonder weapon, Frostbite will forever be silver, never gold. There are a couple reasons I feel this way. First is that you freeze yourself by standing too close to the blast radius. Second, the ice blast only slows the zombies, so if you're in danger of being surrounded, you can still get knocked, which makes it hard to train zombies with it. Finally, and what will probably never change, is ray gun being number 1 on my list. As mentioned before, the reason for placing it in this spot is a simple one. Frostbite needs the ray gun, but the ray gun does not need Frostbite. When playing high rounds, you're required to train the horde at some juncture of the game. You should train with the ray gun to avoid getting knocked. Basically something that you can't do with Frostbite. Guys, that is it. Make sure that you comment down below on my list and let me know if you agree or disagree. What did you like and or what would you change? By the way, I want to thank all of you who continue to watch and support my channel. I appreciate it so much, and I will continue to do videos, of course, God willing. I hope that our Lord continues to watch over every single one of you out there for the rest of 2026. And remember guys, to always have fun, take care, and God bless.